Hey, yeah, progress. Yeah, just progress a couple of drawings earlier today. Yeah, meeting other people and did YouTube shorts. So, yeah, did a. Okay, going to participate in yet another Splatoon 3 challenge. Splatoon 3 challenge for today. So today, it's a swim it to win it, which maxes out the gear swim speed up without having to change gear. So, hello users, for those who are watching the replay or live watching the actual stream, or like a kayak it's or awesome kayak experience face to faces here. And today it's Splatoon 3. Yes, I know it sucks to not have a Frosty Fest this holidays before Christmas Day or during Christmas Day, but participating in the first session of Swim It to Win It. Primary gear abilities just enable secondary or swim speed up. So we won't be wearing swim speed up for this one. So tomorrow will be dress up showdown. Maybe I could be doing another live stream in Splatoon 3 about that one too. But we still have Unami ruins. So maybe something else if I feel like doing so. Hmm, I think I'll use the same gear I left out when playing casually in Too Many Trizukas. Didn't have didn't have a mood to stream Trizukas, but I streamed one of the first one anyways. So yeah, I'm not wearing any Squid speed up. So wonder what it'll feel like. Yeah, didn't even get to do the Zipcaster one or Eject one either. Mm, but sometimes I can live stream these kind of challenges. Whoa! Looks like a launch. Wow! Wow! Yeah, the Trizuka challenge was focused on new maps. Whoa! Oh, okay. Sure. Let me. Whoa! No. Ah! Wow! May not work in walls, unfortunately. Splatoon. Whoa! Oh no. Darn. We don't win with the fight. Mm. Oh. Forgot. I'm distracted by this. We could swim through small portions of enemy. Whoa. I should make my own boy if perhaps want to play with me in Splatoon. Oh yeah, it's my Switch Online subscription is expiring soon, so yeah. Okay, not affected here. Since we already had to. Okay, we're getting a knockout this time. Yeah. Thinking of drawing Big Man again. Thinking of drawing Big Man himself again. The giant. Uh-oh. Maybe. Yeah, even Victor mentioned me. Mentioned me. He's still in progress drawing of the Pink Fairy. That I'm quote unquote almost done, but he has. Yeah, it's really nearly impossible to predict her exact appearance of her lower body. So still think it requires a lot of thinking. That original character from Knott's Berry Farm, Victor really likes. No, okay. Any bit of washing machine that used being super. Hmm. Neil, washing machine Neil. Feel like I wanna. Yeah. Washing machine. All these three having. Oh yeah, looks like a Splatoon 1 kit as well as the carbon roller deco. I'm sure the randomized gear challenge would be more fun. I guess. Still Hammerhead. This is also good. really want to change the weapon blade. Change the weapon and hit already. They're spawn camping, so let's use those. They should use the spare time to use a great opportunity to spare time to swim around with it with the max swim speed.
Says Intimate officially has nothing to do with this, so anything that happens with the ride going forward, they can't be held liable because Cedar Point and San Perla have been messing with it. Intimate is obviously very proven in the thrill rides department. They're pretty much the world leader when it comes to big roller coasters, but with Intimate, sometimes you also get reliability issues. Dragster is an amazing coaster, but it was down a lot. Easily one of the most unreliable roller coasters on the planet. It's pretty much that in Lightning Rod. So maybe it was just that they decided to try something new. I have faith that everything will go well, at least practically, but what about ride experience? How's this gonna feel? Frankly, I don't think the launch is going to be as good as it used to. Top Thrill Dragster had my favorite launch in the world. Yes, even more so than Dododampa, which has the world's fastest acceleration. I liked Dragster's launch more because of how forceful it was and how drawn out it was. There was nothing like sitting in the front row of that ride. So the launch will absolutely be dearly missed. Yes, you still have roller coasters like King Dakar that exist, but Dragster's launch felt more punchy. We have a 74-mile-per-hour first launch. It does come to a stop right before you hit that speed, so it's not like a rolling launch here. But at least in this video, it looks like much more of a gradual buildup, which is a little concerning because, I mean, the thing that made this launch so good was how suddenly you took off. Yes, you'll still eventually hit 120 miles per hour, but how are you going to get there? Between launch 1 and launch 2, you're only going to gain 27 miles per hour. Between launch 2 and launch 3, you gain 19 miles per hour. Are you even going to be able to feel that? Yes, I think to some extent, but I think it's more so about the rate of acceleration. I do wish
Ooh,
that
yeah,
we
Ninja
hit a
Squid.
higher top speed with that
Can we use
first
Ninja
launch.
Squid?
74 miles per hour
Let's
is
see if we can use
good,
Ninja Squid.
absolutely, but this is a really long section of
Let's see
straight
if we can
track.
use
The
Ninja
reason that
Squid
this pull up
for
into the top hat is so drawn
top
out
speed.
is because of how much speed you had hitting it. So now, if you're going 74, rising up, it might feel kind of anticlimactic, especially considering you don't look like you're going to go that high up the tower. Cedar Point is literally advertising this as a rollback, but in my opinion, this is no rollback. A rollback is when you fell backwards 420 feet back down to the ground. Now, the exact height that this train has reached has not been released. However, we can take a pretty accurate guess. High speed at Mirabilandia launches riders at 68 miles per hour, and that makes it up 180 feet in the air. Storm Runner at Hershey Park launches riders at 75 miles per hour, and they make it up 150 feet in the air. So I think it's safe to say that it'll be somewhere between 150 and 180 feet. But you're really only going to be vertical in those first couple rows. I think if you're in the back of the train, you're still going to be at an incline. Now, what's even more interesting is the height of this spike. If Top Thrill Dragster needs 120 miles per hour in order to clear that top hat, then why do you need a backward spike that's 420 feet tall if you're only going to be hitting 101 miles per hour? For reference, Red Force at Ferrari Land makes it over a 367-foot tall top hat at 111 miles per hour. So that's 10 miles per hour more, but 53 feet shorter. So surely the back of this train isn't going to be exceeding 350 feet. So what exactly is the point of having a spike that tall? Like, no matter what, you're breaking the record for the world's tallest spike, if that's what you're concerned about. It seems like a marketing ploy to say that you have two 420-foot tall towers. What difference does it make if your tower is 375 feet tall? Is it just for trial and error, like so that you have some extra room in case that you launch it too fast? I don't know. It's just really weird. Last thing I'll talk about before we end things out, the change in the theme. Yeah, they kept with the racing theme. They switched from drag racing to now Formula One. It never says that specifically, but I think it's kind of implied. Their whole branding is with the world's greatest thrill team, CP Racing. That's what this really clever logo is all about. They're keeping the grandstand so you can watch the train go back and forth. But new crew members are invited to take the wheel and defy gravity. I think it'll be pretty cool. It's a nice stylized look. I love what they did with the trains. I think it's a fun logo. I think that whole plaza is going to look very clean. I've loved all the big refurbishments that Cedar Point has done to the different areas of the park. And honestly, the area by Top Thrill Dragster really needed a facelift. And I think it's finally getting the attention it deserves. So I fully expect to like the area around Top Thrill 2 a lot more than I did there around Dragster. But it still pays homage to the original attraction. And inevitably, I think that's why they went with the name that they did. This truly is a hybrid of the original attraction and something new altogether. And as weird as it is to say Top Thrill 2, I see why they did it. They're aware that so much of the roller coaster is the same, that it's not a fundamentally different attraction, that people will still refer to it as Top Thrill Dragster. So they're just modifying it, not trying to pretend that it's something entirely different. The only downside, in my opinion, is I never called Top Thrill Dragster Top Thrill. I always called it Dragster. So now I have to get used to calling this thing Top Thrill 2. I'm gonna have to like mentally separate them. One is Dragster, one is Top Thrill. Maybe that's how I'll keep track of them. Anyways, I am super excited to see how this all plays out. I'm excited for the Zamperla team in this overhaul. Like I know at this point for insurance purposes.
The key to great skin is exfoliating and moisturizing. Old Spice gives me both.
Welcome to the pit stop. In less than a week after the new Spike Tower was topped, trains were already moving on the launch track. Last Saturday, December 9th, we started our initial launch track testing, and the crews from Zamperla and Intrasys, the guys who are doing all the programming and who put the stators in to make sure you launch to 120 miles per hour, we're doing a lot of fine-tuning and slow speed testing up and down the launch track in preparation for a full speed launch to 120 up and over. Speaking of which, something very special happened today. I'm going to let Mike tell us all about it. Mike?
We're out here at the Top Thrill 2 construction site where we've been testing and commissioning the launch system all week long. And for a first time in a very long time, the train has gone over the top and completed a full cycle. It's been a lot of planning, organizing, construction that's been out on site. to get to this point. It's been over a year and a half in the making, and to watch this come to fruition today has been absolutely unbelievable and amazing.
Talk about an early Christmas present. We cannot wait to get on this ride after watching it, but you're going to have to wait a few more months. As always, keep it here on the pit stop for all the construction updates, and we'll see you on the next one. Merry Christmas. Welcome to the pit stop. In less than a week after the new spike tower was topped, trains were already moving on the launch track. Last Saturday, December 9th, we started our initial launch track testing, and the crews from Zamperla and Intrasys, the guys who are doing all the programming and who put the stators in to make sure you launch to 120 miles per hour, we're doing a lot of fine-tuning and slow-speed testing up and down the launch track in preparation for a full-speed launch to 120 up and over. Speaking of which, something very special happened today. I'm going to let Mike tell us all about it. Mike?
We're out here at the Top Thrill 2 construction site where we've been testing and commissioning the launch system all week long, and for a first time in a very long time, a train has gone over the top and completed a full cycle. It's been a lot of planning, organizing, construction that's been out on site to get to this point. It's been over a year and a half in the making, and to watch this come to fruition today has been absolutely unbelievable and amazing.
Talk about an early Christmas present. We cannot wait to get on this ride after watching it, but you're going to have to wait a few more months. As always, keep it here on the pit stop for all the construction updates, and we'll see you on the next one. Merry Christmas. Welcome to the pit stop. In less than a week after the new spike tower was topped, trains were already moving on the launch track. Last Saturday, December 9th, we started our initial launch track testing, and the crews from Zamperla and Intrasys, the guys who are doing all the programming and who put the stators in to make sure you launch to 120 miles per hour, we're doing a lot of fine-tuning and slow-speed testing up and down the launch track in preparation for a full-speed launch to 120 up and over. Speaking of which, something very special happened today. I'm going to let Mike tell us all about it. Mike?
We're out here at the Top Thrill 2 construction site where we've been testing and commissioning the launch system all week long, and for a first time in a very long time, a train has gone over the top and completed a full cycle. It's been a lot of planning, organizing, construction that's been out on site to get to this point. It's been over a year and a half in the making, and to watch this come to fruition today has been absolutely unbelievable and amazing.
Talk about an early Christmas present. We cannot wait to get on this ride after watching it, but you're going to have to wait a few more months. As always, keep it here on the pit stop for all the construction updates, and we'll see you on the next one. Merry Christmas. pit stop in less than a week after the new spike tower was topped. Trains were already moving on the launch track. Last Saturday, December 9th, we started our initial launch track testing, and the crews from Zamperla and Intrasys, the guys who are doing all the programming and who put the stators in to make sure you launch to 120 miles per hour, we're doing a lot of fine-tuning and slow-speed testing up and down the launch track in preparation for a full-speed launch to 120 up and over. Speaking of which, something very special happened today. I'm going to let Mike tell us all about it. Mike?
We're out here at the Top Thrill 2 construction site where we've been testing and commissioning. The train has gone over the top and completed a full cycle. There's been a lot of planning, organizing, construction that's been out on site to get to this point. It's been over a year and a half in the making, and to watch this come to fruition today has been absolutely unbelievable and amazing.
Talk about an early Christmas present. We cannot wait to get on this ride after watching it, but you're going to have to wait.
A train has gone over the top and completed a full cycle. There's been a lot of planning, organizing, construction that's been out on site to get to this point. It's been over a year and a half in the making, and to watch this come to fruition today has been absolutely unbelievable and amazing.
Talk about an early Christmas present. We cannot wait to get on this ride after watching it, but you're going to have to wait.
A train has gone over the top and completed a full cycle. There's been a lot of planning, organizing, construction that's been out on site to get to this point. It's been over a year and a half in the making, and to watch this come to fruition today has been absolutely unbelievable and amazing.
Talk about an early Christmas present. We cannot wait to get on this ride after watching it, but you're going to have to wait.
A train has gone over the top and completed a full cycle. There's been a lot of planning, organizing, construction that's been out on site to get to this point. It's been over a year and a half in the making, and to watch this come to fruition today has been absolutely unbelievable and amazing.
Talk about an early Christmas present. We cannot wait to get on this ride after watching it, but you're going to have to wait.
Ooh. Is that okay? Is that
Okay, so that's not what Richard and Siobhan talked about. So okay, I will talk to Gerardo. Just in case if I'm ready to leave hotel. Không xong rồi. Okay.
Don't care. Don't care much.
But you're still doing good at it, didn't you, huh? Right? But aren't we gonna miss the original Wii so much?
Yeah.
Because why throw it away? We thought it needs to be fixed, right? Yes. We.
Stuff.
Finding confidence in new breakout goals.
Slushy time.
Their breath helps keep Tina's breath fresh for 12 hours. It helps give Dale 24-hour protection against Jack, a hard worker, just like us. It also helps Jack control plaque that leads to bleeding gum. Is it weird if I think you're beautiful? And helps Brenda prevent stains.
$1 million smile.
So when they look in the mirror, they see their best self. Their breath. It's a better mouthwash. I guarantee it. Sparkling brother rapport. Oh, barbecue time. Nah, Chuck's always been a little twisted. Everybody knows you love cheese, old man. 26. Oh! No! Ruffles, choose.
number 14.
My top 25 favorite roller coasters I've ridden in Europe. This came after my first trip to the continent where I spent 7 weeks road tripping from Denmark to Switzerland and many countries in between. This summer, I got to go back to Europe for a shorter 2-week trip, and this was focused around riding coasters. My buddy Josiah and I rode upwards of 60 new roller coasters each, which brings the total number of coasters I've ridden in Europe from 179 to 243. Now, not only is the total number of coasters I've ridden in Europe far greater than it used to be, but I found that I've ridden some rides too low and some rides too high on the whole list. So after really thinking those over, I feel that I have a more accurate opinion this time. Of the 64 new coasters I rode in Europe this year, 10 of them made the top 25, which is absolutely amazing to think about. But this does mean that 10 coasters that were on the whole list are no longer on here. So I just want to give them a quick honorable mention. These rides are all great, just barely missed the cut. Barato at our London Spark Trip Strip, Skywheel at Skyland Park, and while we're at it, let me shout out the other 2 Skywheel coasters I rode on my most recent trip to Europe, Abismo at Parque de Attracciones de Madrid, and Uco at Venemaki, Phoenix at Overland, Goliath at Wallaby Hollow, Ida at Barra Summerland, Colossus Camp Derby Mountain at Ida Park, Abyssus at Turkeylandia, Fury at Bobbyonland, Troy at Toverland, and Black Mamba at Fantasyland. I'd also like to mention what countries I've been to for those of you who are new around here. I have ridden the majority of notable roller coasters in Poland, Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, France, Spain, Sweden, Norway, and Finland. If your favorite ride didn't make this list, I either haven't ridden it, maybe it didn't quite make the top 25, or maybe I don't think it's that great. It comes without saying that we all have different opinions, and I don't expect any of your lists to be the same as mine. But if you have been to Europe, let me know what your favorite roller coasters are. I would love to hear about it in the comment section below. Anyways, with that all being said, let's dive in. Starting things off with the number 25 spot is Furious Baco at Portaventura. We're kicking these off with a controversial ride. Some people love Furious Baco, and some people hate it. Mostly this is the case because of the ride maybe not being the smoothest, but personally, I didn't think it was that rough at all. I understand that I have a higher tolerance for roughness than most, but if you don't pass that, there's a lot to love about this ride. Furious Baco is infinite only attempt at a true wing coaster, and this one is unique in that it was the first to feature a launch. And talk about a way to start the ride. Furious Baco accelerates riders from 0 to 83.9 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. From there, you've got a bunch of low-to-the-ground turns, a single inversion, which is a great element, by the way, and a swooping turn over the water. There's no doubt that this coaster is short, but I don't mind it so much when a ride's action-packed the whole way through, and Furious Baco is absolutely no exception. Number 24, Phoenix at Barra Summerland. Ever since this ride opened last year, Phoenix has become a real fan favorite in Europe, and I can by all means understand why. This ride is so much fun. It was the first of its layout we've seen built from Vekoma, and what we're looking at here is a height of 131 feet, 3 inversions, and many, many points of airtime. To be honest, I didn't find Phoenix to be an intense ride at all, but it's silky smooth and so fluid that it goes from one element to the next. And though its forces aren't the strongest, it's got an incredible variety of it, which easily compensates in my opinion. Not to mention, it's just a beautiful coaster, one that I loved taking pictures and videos of. Number 23, Stuntfall at Parque Warner Madrid. Vekoma giant inverted boomerangs are few and far between these days. I got to ride my first ever one at Silverwood Theme Park in Idaho, so I already knew what to expect with Stuntfall. But that doesn't make it any less good. So few people are ever going to ride both Stuntfall and Aftershock, so the fact that it's at home doesn't bother me in the slightest. The forces these rides pull catch any experienced coaster rider by surprise. It's insane how hard this thing pushes you down into your seat from the positive forces. It genuinely feels like you're being squished. And what's nice is all the operating giant inverted boomerangs are smooth enough to enjoy. Not blasted or anything, there definitely is a bite to it, but in my opinion it adds a lot to the intensity of Stuntfall. Number 22, Piraten at Pure Summerland. Piraten is a coaster that took a couple rides before I really started to feel it out, but once it warmed up, I definitely understood the hype. It's the only mega-like coaster Intamin ever built outside of Asia, and the whole point with this is it would be a smaller ride than a full-scale mega coaster that would mimic the intense airtime of basic. Piraten only stands 101 feet tall, but it throws you around. My favorite part are these 3 whippy twisted airtime hills, which are honestly stronger than airtime you get on most hyper coasters. So I'm definitely a big fan of this thing. It's one of those coasters I can ride all day long without getting bored. Number 21, Valder at Liseberg. When I first rode this coaster, I actually drew some comparisons to Piraten, but in wooden form, and that explains its ranking is just one spot apart. They're both built by Intamin, they're both around 100 feet tall, but they pack in so much airtime it is incredible. When we were with Pontus of Liseberg, he told us that they don't alter for the airtime, and that was a run that they clear up for riding. You were at launch guy your seat over and over and over again. Some might say it's repetitive, but I love it. There is a downside with this ride. It has a little bit of dead space in between the bunny hills where there's not really a whole lot going on. But I can't say it bothered me too much because it kind of built anticipation before each airplane moment. Valder was a ton of fun and another one of those immensely free riding coasters. Number 20, Splatoon Opera at Hansa Park. I think this is one of the most underrated roller coasters in Europe because what it packs into its layout, only 2,200 feet long, is astounding. It's part dark ride, part coaster, and the coaster elements it has are extremely intense. One of these moments is the fastest acceleration of any LSM launch in the world, 62.1 miles per hour in 1.4 seconds. It's also got a few moments of powerful ejector airtime, a singular inversion, and an in-the-dark section at the end where I had no idea what was going on. Hansa Park tied the already epic layout together with a compelling, dark story and so much awesome theming. Don't overlook Flugbahnnachtgrad if you're visiting Germany for theme parks. And from one of the most underrated coasters in Europe to one that's maybe a bit overrated, I'm sorry, number 19 is Terran at Phantasialand.
New Cheetos pretzels. Crunchy, cheesy, delicious. But for every great idea, hundreds bit the dust.
Hey, did you hear Stacy's getting married?
Like Cheetos coffee mugs. Or Cheetos fire sprinklers.
Look, I do really like this ride. I adore its launches, I think it's got a very creative layout, and it has some of the best theming on a coaster I've seen. But Terran is not an extreme thrill ride like I expected and like many people make it out to be. I wouldn't go as far as to call it a family coaster either, but the forces Terran pulls are not very intense at all. Not to mention the end of each half of this ride do drag on a little bit. But what do you expect? Phantasialand had to think way outside the box when it came to squeezing an intimate multi-launch coaster into their park. So I can't be too disappointed. Terran is an architectural and engineering marvel, and I do think it's a fun coaster for sure. It wouldn't have made this list if it wasn't. But personally, it's not one of my absolute favorite coasters in Europe like it is for a lot of people. Number 18, Helix at Liseberg. My first few rides on this coaster, I got off disappointed the same way I was with Terran. But once I tried it in a few more seats and the ride started to warm up, Helix had grown to be more than just about any coaster I've ridden. It's still not as good as some people say, but it's not as weak as others say. Helix has certainly become pretty divisive in recent years. But I'll tell you what, few rides have a more unique layout than Helix. It follows its line pretty much the entire ride, and at 4,500 feet in length, it's a long experience too. Plus, it's got the best soundtrack I've ever heard. It's not one of those coasters where I get off and I'm like, whoa, that was mind-blowingly intense. But it does have some sweet moments like the 2 large camelbacks and a handful of fun inversions. The launch is still sucked up. Just have to throw that out there. Number 17, Boat on Timber Coaster at Europa Park. This is a ride that I've moved up the more and more I've thought about it. With how much I've raved about this coaster, there's no reason for it to not pass by my favorite wooden coasters list. And it's also certainly one of the best coasters in Europe. Boat on Timber Coaster has some of the best pacing of any ride by JCI, and the corners it packs in are exceptional. I swear there is no dead space on this ride, no points where you don't find a catch breath. And if that wasn't enough, Europa Park kept its ride with me, which only makes me love it even more. More people need to be talking about Boat on Timber Coaster because it is an incredible ride. Number 16, Tornado at Bakken. If you haven't heard my story with this ride before, well, you're in for a treat. My first ever ride on Tornado was the Rongo-Later ride that took most visitors in the park to experience. But once the ride operators found out that I was taking a video, they decided to have some good advice. What they were able to do was enable something called loose nut, which to put it in short would be absolutely illegal in America. They unlocked the spinning, sped up the lip spinning, deactivated the McForce brake ring, and that all resulted in perhaps the most intense coaster rides I've ever experienced. And that's why Tornado was able to make it so high on the list. I can't imagine it being in front of many others. But to me, this was a blowout for best roller coaster in Denmark. If I can fly a day and you ask my favorite Tornado and steroids, they may honor your request and try to kill you with it. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I love this experience so freaking much. Number 15, Shambhala at Portaventura. Over in Europe, roller coasters from manufacturer B&M aren't nearly as common as they are in America. But that doesn't mean they don't have some great ones, and Shambhala is by far one of the best B&Ms in the world. Josiah of National Coasters and I both agree that this would probably be the quintessential perfect coaster for any member of the general public. And I would not be one of those people in the slightest, because we as coaster enthusiasts have so much fun with this ride. Shambhala is filled with the brim with floater air tunnels, and these moments seem to last forever. It's also one of the smoothest coasters ever, and that color scheme might be my new favorite I've seen thus far. This is a beautiful and amazing ride. Number 14, Let Coaster at India. The coaster that really put Portland on the map for coaster enthusiasts, Let Coaster is one insane ride. Probably one of the most intense roller coasters I've ever ridden, and I do not say that lightly. When a ride's 131 feet tall and able to pack in this much force and this many elements, it's extraordinary. It's actually a fairly similar ride to Phoenix of Terror at Summerland, but this one came first, and I don't think the color intended for it to be so intense. That's why many people were actually disappointed with it, which I don't think is fair because these two rides are like night and day difference in terms of intensity. But I love that sort of thing, so Let Coaster rates very heavy for me. It's just one of those coasters I have to take a break from every now and then because otherwise I feel like I actually can pass out. Number 13, Red Force at Huron.
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
this might seem like a pretty high spot for Red Force, but hear me out. If you're familiar with Ride's mission with the infamous Strata coasters, then this should make a lot of sense. Red Force has its launch, its giant top hat, and enormous drop, and that sends you into the break run. It's an extremely short ride, yes, but it is so exhilarating and so intense that I don't mind it. That launch is one of my favorites I've ever experienced in the front row, and top hat, an enormous drop, and that sends you into the break run. It's an extremely short ride, yes, but it is so exhilarating and so intense that I don't mind it. That launch is one of my favorites I've ever experienced in the front row, and at 111 miles per hour, it is the fastest coaster in the world to use LSM technology. Additionally, it claims the height and speed record for the entire continent of Europe, which is new to me. For me personally, Red Force is not just a stat monster, it is so much more. It's a ride that lives up to its intimidating stature, and that's why it made the top 15. Number 12, Fly at Fantasyland. We're only at spot number 12, yet I'd argue that each of the following rides are perfect or nearly perfect experiences. Fly is the prototype of a flying coaster, and what they managed to pack into this tiny footprint is unlike anything we've ever seen. Launches on a flying coaster? Check. Airtime on a flying coaster? Oh yeah. Incredible sustained positives. Like, it's amazing. Not to mention, this ride is some of the greatest theming I've ever seen on a coaster, which rounds up the experience so much. It's funny, I always thought from off-ride, Fly looked kind of slow and kind of sluggish, but when you're riding it, speed is the last thing on your mind, and it doesn't feel slow or anything. Every single one of these elements feels like it's being taken at the right pace, and that's why Fly was able to blow my expectations out of the water. Number 11, Hyperion at Energylandia. If Let Coaster put Poland on the map, then Hyperion made it a must-visit for every coaster enthusiast out there. Energylandia for a few years had been under the radar until bam, 2018 rolled around and they showed us that they meant business. Hyperion is the second tallest roller coaster in Europe with a drop of 269 feet. This thing is nearly a gigacoaster, it's so tall. But it's not just about the stats, it's about the layout in this case. Hyperion has a perfect layout for a hypercoaster, with your typical out and back elements in the first half, but more transitioning into a twister layout in the second half. What's also cool is at times Hyperion throws in elements that you don't normally see on a ride like this. Guys that throw you around like a rag doll. But there's a few elements in the middle that aren't amazing in my opinion, and the rest will shake you around a tiny bit, but these are the only complaints that get me real nitpicky. I think otherwise it would have been a top 10 coaster in Europe, maybe even higher, but as is, it's an incredible experience. Number 10, Expedition G-Force at Holiday Park. This one was a tough call for me because Expedition G-Force doesn't have the variety of something like Hyperion, but in my opinion, the airtime on here is some of the strongest in the world, and the setting is a notch better as riders fly through the trees. To put things into perspective, designer Bernard Stanley was responsible for much of the best engineering coasters built around the world, but Expedition G-Force was the company's magnum opus. This may have been all the way back in 2001, but for me, this is still number 2 for best coasters in Germany and top 10 in the entirety of Europe. I love how aggressive this ride is as it chucks you out of your seat over every single hill, and even after all these years, it's running like a train. Expedition G-Force remains a world-class coaster. Number 9, Wildfire at Philmark. RMC has so far only built 3 coasters in Europe, and it's funny because even though Wildfire is my least favorite of the 3, it's still my overall top 25 favorite coasters I've ever been on. And hopefully that speaks to the quality of all the following rides, because it means they have to be one of my top 25 favorite coasters. Wildfire is straight up one of the most beautiful and simultaneously daunting rides I've ever seen. It stands 183.8 feet tall, so it is the tallest wooden coaster in the world, and it's also got the most inversions at 3. Now, as much as I do love this ride, I will point out that it has some noticeable single hill, and even after this demented coaster in the world, and it's also got the most inversions at 3. Now, as much as I do love this ride, I will point out that it has some noticeable pacing issues. The first half may as well be the best of what RMC has to offer, but after that, the ride dwindles out considerably. It's not as bad once it's warmed up, but if Wildfire is running slow, I'd refrain from judging it too hard. But for the most part, its layout is incredibly strong, and the ride setting is one of the prettiest I've seen, so it's still absolutely deserving of a top 10 spot. Number 8, the Schwartz Cannon at Hansa Park. My top rated coaster, anywhere in the country of Germany, is this demented one-of-a-kind ride manufactured captured by Gerstlauer. You see this tower? The inside of that is a 219-foot tall drop. And wait till you find out what else happens in there. The shortest cannon has some wicked surprises that I'm not going to spoil here just in case some of you plan to ride it in the future. But everything that happens outdoor is a high-speed blitz where you have hardly any idea what's going on. The station is super fast and moving and thrown around. I wish I could draw some comparisons to another coaster for you guys, but there really isn't another ride that can compare to this one. It's so unique, so well themed, and so intense from start to finish. Number 7, Tucana's Pet Park Asterisk. Can we take a second to congratulate France on finally getting an elite coaster?
Lucy, give me a ball.
Good quick run. Hard healthy, too. Speaking of which, you have the heart to watch it.
Park Asterisk went crazy on this stage, and this presentation is top-notch. Secondly, I love this layout so much. It has loads of variety of forces, and even does some of it backwards. Just look at my face, that will tell you all you need to know. Aside from the drop, I really love all of the elements in the second half, and how diverse it is all layout. Forces, and even does some of it backwards. Just look at my face, that will tell you all you need to know. Aside from the drop, I really love all of the elements in the second half, and how diverse it is all layout. I really love all of the elements in the set. Seriously, Tucana's is incredible. Tucana's is fantastic. Can we take a second to congratulate France on finally getting a new coaster? Aside from the drop, I really love all of the elements in the second half and how diverse it is. Tucana's goes from one element to another so seamlessly that you need any kind of food. That's what we're looking for in a coaster. I can find that it will go great. Number 6, Honda at Wallaby Dock. This is basically the modern, refined version of Expedition 4, and it already made the top 10. But really, Honda is able to enhance and add on to this variety makes it my favorite quotation of mega stock ever coaster in the world. It's a large canvas spinning, really satisfying by steam. Smaller than the pieces are often part of the box. This is exactly the variety that we're going for. Honda is so good. The only element I think that could have done better is the non-inverting overall, but that had never been done before, and it's all good as iron, and it actually turned out quite good. It is the weakest part of an otherwise flawless ride. It actually hurts my brain that I have to place body coasters higher than Honda because it is one of the most enjoyable roller coasters in the world. Number 5, Untamed at Wallaby Hollow. The first star MC Europe got with an absolute winner. People are calling Untamed a major skill difference, but that's all the truth is. The sheer amount of times this coaster flung you up in your lap are awesome, and I love all the front shapes and sizes of the house too. There's larger hills that can be outward, little hills that sit slightly to the left giving lateral, and several more configurations that do amazing job passing the airport. And with this being an RMC iBox coaster, it is a smooth glass, so enjoying all of the sweet airtime is very, very easy. For me, this is a 10 out of 10 perfect coaster, but it just doesn't have the variety of a few rides I have placed on it. It is one of the most enjoyable roller coasters I've been on in my life. Number 5, Untamed at Wallaby Hollow. The first RMC Europe got was an absolute favorite, and people are calling Untamed a miniature steel vengeance, well that's all the truth is. The sheer amount of times this coaster flings you up in your lap are awesome, and I love all the different shapes and sizes of the hills too. There's larger hills that tilt you outward, little hills that slant slightly to the left giving laterals, and several more configurations that do an amazing job passing you airborne. And with this being an RMC iBox coaster, it is as smooth as glass, so enjoying all of Untamed sweet airtime is very, very easy. For me, this is a 10 out of 10 perfect coaster, but it just doesn't have the variety of a few rides I have placed higher. Number 4, Taiga at Rinenmaki. Since its debut in 2019, people have been raving over Taiga, saying you have to come to Finland to try it out. And already before rating, I knew I would love this ride because it has so many similarities to my favorite launch coasters out there. Sure enough, Taiga became one of those rides. Due to the terrain it sits on, it's able to keep an astounding pace the whole way through, except for the moments where it's intentionally going slow, like on the zero-G winder and stall elements. You know, typically I'm not a huge fan of Finland, but even I'll admit that those two moments are awesome. It's really in the second half though where the realizes put out the gas. Every single moment does something to enhance the ride experience, whether it be a burst of airtime, a quick direction change, a whipping frozen, or anything else. I got half a dozen rides in it, and I kept going for 23 times as fast as I needed it break. It's one of the most amazing ride experiences Infinite has ever done, and it's so stupidly redriveable too. Number 3, Batman Gotham City Escape Plan Part 1 Minute Break. One of Infinite's new best creations, Batman bundles together awesome elements, pacing, nuance, and everything else feels nothing. Two coasters to go with 95 minutes. Number 2 is Roger and Airborne. Depending on personal preference, this could be the best coaster in the world manufactured by IMC. For me, it's still under the palette, but it's honestly so hard to sit up here and explain the incredible memory. What I can say for sure is Roger is a powerhouse for a moving control. It has pacing like no other coaster I've seen. It charges over every hill and gets through every obstacle and connecting fast streets. I thought this coaster really fair and unique compared to other IMCs because not only does it have the ability to speed that are immediate, but it also makes it an awesome ride. And at times, Roger will combine all 3 of these sensations into one, and that is one of the best feelings I have. It's only been 2 years, and I'm already itching to get back on this. And I'll tell you what, if this were the only coaster I just tried, I'd still try it harder than I want to do this year. But now, let's wrap the roll up with a ride that means the world to me. My number 1 favorite roller coaster in Europe, and overall, experience in Park Astrid. Just kidding, I actually think it's that ride. It's the ride that happened is not approximately 20,000. This one feels not the best for a roller coaster. Everything it does feels perfect, and even the muscles stay in vehicle. Every ride feels different from the last. It's like you're riding a different roller coaster every time, because these rides are so different, forward, and backwards, and commissioning them to be a combination of everything. Mock rides included every element of needed to be broken on this coaster, elements that would already be instant out there, and through our rotations, and it turns a straight ride into a mess and more. And there was so much that was possible to do. They not only timed it and created it beautifully, but they released electric dance music to the ride via onboard audio. This adds so much to the experience and makes the ride feel almost beautiful. Frankly, there's nothing more I can say that hasn't already been said, because I'm striking your final word. I hope that each and every single one of you guys get the chance to hear about how the ride what isn't the best coaster in the world, but my favorite coaster in my opinion. So I appreciate you sticking with me for this one. It's been a long time, but I get my 10 years from you doing what I do. That's where you can show your support by leaving this video a like and subscribing to Coaster Guy. And if earn more content just like this, would be honest with you. Thank you all so much. See you all very soon. Bye guys.
You're entering the Doritos dimension. Launch your taste buds on a journey to the realm of cheese and spice. Fuel up for an unforgettable flight of flavor. We have liftoff. Try another item. Doritos Spicy Nacho.
By the number 14 spot, we have my favorite B&M in Europe, and that is Shambhala. This is one of the tallest and fastest roller coasters in Europe, and all it is towering, parabolic airtime hills. So much floater air. It's so graceful, but it's also really fast. And it's got one of the more unique layouts for a B&M Hyper. I just love what they did with this thing. I can describe this ride as like an upgraded Mystery Mile, if you're familiar with that ride style. Let's go from one launch coaster to another. This one I think being intended for families, but it's really, really good, so I don't care. It's Jubaland at Drew Summerland, one of the most underrated rides in Europe. It's not very tall at all, and we're so low to the ground. The majority of the coaster is just fast-paced transitions, but this whole middle section is like in turbo mode. The best comparison I could honestly think to make for it is something like Maverick, how it just goes rapid fire back and forth. Jubaland was crazy. It was way better than I expected. Definitely one of those sleeper hit rides. Something like Maverick, how it just goes rapid fire back and forth. Jubaland was crazy. It was way better than I expected. Definitely one of those sleeper hit rides you gotta do. At 22, we have Osiris at Park Streaks. It's not very tall at all. You're so low to the ground. The majority of the coaster is just fast-paced transitions, but this whole middle section is like in turbo mode. The best comparison I could honestly think to make for it is something like Maverick, how it just goes rapid fire back and forth. Jubaland was crazy. It was way better than I expected. Definitely one of those sleeper hit rides you gotta do. At 22, we have Osiris at Park Streaks. This is a really strong B&M invert. I love the layout that they went with here, very unconventional. It just looks incredible in this plaza that Park Streaks has set up here. They do such a great job with theming, and this Egyptian look is just so photogenic. Smooth ride, great forces, underrated invert in my opinion. But it's not as good as Black Mamba at Phantasialand. This is my favorite invert in Europe. Yes, even over the original Nemesis. If Nemesis were on here, I'd honestly probably put it right between Osiris and Black Mamba. But I just love how Black Mamba is woven in with the African section of this.
Jubaland is an exciting motorbike coaster at Djurs Summerland. This is surprisingly Denmark's longest roller coaster, and it's a real crowd pleaser. I remember seeing this ride in top 50 of the final Mitch Hawker when it was conducted, and I was a bit confused why it would appear to be a family coaster placed that highly. Now I get it. Find out why this ride is so good in this review. Jubaland opened back in 2013 and was placed in parts next to the land section. The ride's station and queue is housed housed in this giant temple, and it looks great. You have some nice rock work on the outside. Then the inside has some ruins and jewels, and that makes sense because Juvelin literally translates to jewel. The ride itself is somewhat elusive. Most of the ride stays low to the ground, and it's blocked by the station trees and rocks. You can really only see the first launch that's smartly placed next to the queue in midway to build anticipation, and then one or two of the ride's few large hills. But the parts you can see do look solid, with the green track and the red trains that really pop. The latter are the secret sauce of the experience. These trains are themed to look like ATVs, and they allow guests to ride in the motorbike position. Guests can lean forwards and hold onto the handlebars. It's a simple thing, but this is a different riding position than we're accustomed to on a coaster, and it accentuates the sense of speed. That's what this ride does best. Riders are secured by a U-shaped lap bar that rests really low on your thighs. Just beware if you're wider. I'm pretty thin, 165 pounds, yet I struggled a bit, but there is a catch to that. It was because of my shorts. I'm the type of person who only brings what they can fit into their cargo shorts when I go to an amusement park. I had issues getting the restraint down by my digital camera and my tube of sunscreen in my pockets. They both outwards enough to interfere with the restraint. I had no trouble if I put these items off to the side, but I've never had to do that with any other coaster. There are 2 trains, each consisting of 9 rows of 2, so each train seats up to 18 riders. On the summer weekend day I visited, Juvelin often the park's longest line. Midday it was hovering around the 40 to 60 minute mark. Trains are being steadily dispatched. The ride is just a crowd pleaser. Mexico is one of the first lands people encounter, so not too many people will be riding during the first hour or 2. And then I was able to walk onto the coast for back-to-back rides at the end of the night. As for which seat you want, I highly recommend the front. That is the row that most surprised me. You get the best sense of speed by far. It is the best sense of speed I've felt on any motorbike coaster. Once dispatched, you hear a tribal beat and roll into a dark ride scene. You see these large glowing rock statues. The music intensifies and the colors change. It gets you hyped for your ride. The doors open and you walk inside for launch 1. Juvelin has tire propelled launches. This isn't the flashiest propulsion method, but it has a nice kick to it. You really feel like you're getting down the launch track. You then zip around the first of many low turns, getting a decent blast of positive forces. That leads into a large camelback, one of the few high points of the ride. If there's one flaw with Juvelin, it's the lack of airtime in hills like this. You have a handful of hills that look like they should give airtime, but they're just too gradual to do so. You then navigate a gentle overbank, a low S-bend with some mild positives, and a tight turn to launch 2. This concludes the first half. In many, one of the few high points in the ride. If there's one flaw with Juvelin, it's the lack of air getting a decent time in hills like this. You have a handful of hills that look like they should give airtime, but they're just too gradual to do so. You then navigate a gentle overbank, a low S-bend with some mild positives, and a tight turn to launch 2. This concludes the first half. In many ways, this feels like a warm-up. Outside that initial launch and turn, this part isn't too wild, but it has the benefit of allowing you to appreciate the ride's surroundings. The ride's in close proximity to abundance of trees, and then a few turns pass by and through ruins. Now the second half is what makes Juvelin special. Launch 2 accelerates you to your max speed of 53 miles per hour or 85 kilometers per hour. The launch starts slow, but it really kicks in halfway down the launch track. You really get yanked through the end of the launch. It feels like you're being peeled backwards. I was stunned how fast this coaster felt at this point. The next few turns hug the ground and occur in rapid-fire succession. It feels like you're going 10 to 20 miles per hour too fast, but as a thrill seeker, I love it. This ride feels out of control. The first low turn actually has some really good force to it, and after being pulled through that, you charge through an S-bend. This passes by some rocks and a waterfall. The close call really enhances the speed, but you're going so fast you can barely process what you pass while you're on ride. This sequence reminds me of the final section of Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at Islands of Adventure, between how fast you're going and the whippy elements, except Juvelin still has quite a bit more ride left. Juvelin then turns into a low SL. You have great speed over the element, but it only gives very weak weightlessness. That's followed by another punchy turn and an elongated occurs so late in the ride, but I've never heard this ride valleying, which makes sense because of how much speed it holds. Jubilant has one last and moderately forceful low turn before popping into the brakes, giving a very weak pop of airtime. This ends the 3,281 foot or 1,000 meter long coaster, and all of that is very smooth. This is a super rideable coaster. So what I rate Jubilant, I would give this launch coaster an 8 out of 10. This is a really fun ride. This ride's made by the motorbike style seating. It really allows the coaster to go all the way to the center speed, and the layout is brilliantly designed to lean into that. The launch is a good kick, and then you have a series of decently forceful low turns as you whiz past trees and ruins. And then you have that standout sequence at the start of the second half that takes my breath away every single time. On 10 to 20 miles per hour too fast. As a real sequence, I love it. This ride feels out of control. The first low turn actually has some really good force to it, and after being pulled through that, you charge through an S-bend. This passes by some rocks and a waterfall. The close call really enhances the speed, but you're going so fast you can barely process what you pass while you're on ride. This sequence reminds me of the final section of Hagrid's Magical Creatures motorbike adventure at Islands of Adventure, between how fast you're going and the whippy elements, except Jubilant still has quite a bit more ride left. Jubilant then turns into a low S-hill. You have great speed over the element, but it only gives very weak weightlessness. That's followed by another punchy turn and an elongated bunny bump. Again, no airtime, but you're still carrying a considerable amount of speed. Jubilant then turns into the home stretch, which kicks things off with another stretched out bunny hill and a larger tailback. I am surprised the second half's largest element occurs so late in the ride, but I've never heard this ride valleying, which makes sense because of how much speed it holds. Jubilant has one last and moderately forceful low turn before hopping into the brakes, giving a very weak pop of airtime. This ends the 3,281 foot or 1,000 meter long coaster, and all of that is very smooth. This is a super rideable coaster. So what would I rate Jubilant? I would give this multi-launch coaster an 8 out of 10. This is a really fun ride. This ride is made by the motorbike style seating. It really allows the coaster to go all in on the sense of speed, and the layout is brilliantly designed to lean into that. The launch is a good kick, and then you have a series of decently forceful low turns as you whiz past trees and ruins. And then you have that standout sequence at the start of the second half that takes my breath away every single time. I still cannot believe how much...
bay.
Well, I'd say seriously riding roller coasters. I started getting into it when I was in 7th grade, and then Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another theme park obsession video. My name is Dylan, and thank you so much for tuning back to the channel. Today I'm hanging out at Knott's Berry Farm to check up on the Camp Snoopy project, and of course the crazy holiday crowds. So how about you and I dive right in? And you know it's busy when they're using every single turnstile gate. Yeah, this is insane. Oh yeah, officially made it in the park. It's gonna be fun navigating the crowds. I do not recommend coming to Knott's Berry Farm when it's the last week before the end of the year and leading up into the new year, the first week into the new year. Yeah, it is very busy, and that's just everywhere around Southern California. Knott's Berry Farm is literally everywhere. If you can avoid it, please do. You want to see all the decorations and everything? Come earlier on in the season because it's not crazy. Even here on the channel. Thankfully, operations on Silver Bullet right now have been pretty good. They've been dispatching these trains
Wow.
really, really quickly, which is nice.
I think I should do an
Because this time
updated
of year,
Silver
look
Bullet
at the
too.
line for Silver Bullet. It's all the way in its extended queue. Side note, I've always loved the layout
Yeah.
of Silver Bullet because you got really good
Should be
photos.
rope dropping in Knott's Berry
Totally
Farm.
different angles because so I think this is great. But let's get to the crowds moving later. We're heading to Camp Snoopy to check out the Overworld. Oh my goodness, this is the line for Suicide Rider. Holy hell, I've never seen it over here before. Oh yeah, you can see the construction that's
Ah.
going down to the theater.
It's not because of popularity, it's capacity. Underrated ride for long run. Yeah.
Calico River Rapids is looking like it's down for a little bit of reefer. Typical around this time of year. Not too many people going on water rides. Pony Express is definitely open though. Now, if you do plan on coming to the park around this time of year, like you have no choice, per person. It's for up to 6 people, and that price is per person, by the way. But it includes your parking, it includes park admission. You get like a t-shirt and a pin. You get the fast lane through some of the attractions. So I think that's pretty worth it, especially if you're coming around this time of year when you know the park is going to be slammed like what you've been seeing in today's video. Having a VIP guide there to navigate through all that madness is actually really helpful. And yeah, if you say, hey, starting in January, we're going to stay all the way up until the end of the year to do it, it's a pretty good idea. Already, I finished my lap around the park. We're going to do one more breeze through Camp Snoopy before we head out. It's kind of hard to see any views because there's nobody working today because it's the holidays. And yeah, I checked up on the stagecoach line, way too long. Yeah, that would be like at least an hour. The Grand Sierra Railroad is closed and will probably stay closed until they reveal all the new additions because this attraction is looking like it's going to be getting a rerouting towards Montezuma's Revenge. So yeah, they'll keep this closed so they can work on it. And then as far as work over here, nothing has gone vertical as of yet. Again, I think all the work is going to happen in January. But with that, let's slowly make our way out of the park. And I say slowly just because of the crowd. It's going to take me a minute to get to the park exit. Made my way out of the park, and yeah, look at this. The line is still there of cars. That's what I was waiting in earlier just to get into the parking lot. Oh man. Well, if anybody was here today at the time of making this video, Godspeed. I hope you were able to go on everything that you wanted to go on, because you're only getting on a few things. And just one more thing as I'm making my way back to my car, look at this. I haven't seen this in a long time. I'm talking since I was a little kid. They've opened up this lot over here too, because there's just so many cars that they can't park anybody. And they're still filtering in. People are still trying to find spots. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe a parking structure would do pretty well here at Knott's Berry Farm one of these days. It's expensive, but I think it would benefit them because that would free up some land. They can expand the park. But with that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and you love these videos from Knott's Berry Farm or some of your other favorite theme parks, consider subscribing because I have brand new videos every single week that you don't want to miss out. It's always great coming to the park and check up on all the latest updates. And I think in January and February, the work on Camp Snoopy is really going to ramp up. Again, like I've been mentioning throughout the video, if you do plan on coming around this time of year, just brace for the crowd. It will be super busy. Not just here in Knott's Berry Farm, but at Disney, Universal, Six Flags, SeaWorld, you name it, they're going to be packed. Be sure to follow my Instagram account by following the link down below in the description. And until the next video, I hope you can do today, morning, evening, whatever it is. I'll see you next time at the park. Bye.
going to be the absolute most important one. But before we start today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any brand new videos from all of your favorite theme parks across the country. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Alright, so this video is going to be divided into two parts. So the first part is going to be mistakes to avoid before you go to the park. So all the things that you're doing when you're buying your tickets or planning your trip to Knott's Berry Farm, these are the things that you should absolutely avoid doing. And the first one is going to be showing up to the park without a chaperone on days that chaperones are required. So right now, Knott's Berry Farm currently has a chaperone policy that says if you are under 18 years old on going on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you need to be accompanied by a chaperone who is 21 years or older. Chaperones can accompany up to 5 guests. And like I said, this policy is in effect on all Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. However, they do say that it's possible it will be implemented on additional days during holiday season, which is coming up. So be sure to check the calendar and the website for more information regarding what days have a chaperone policy. But yeah, if you show up to the park without a chaperone and you're under 18 years old, you won't be let in. Or if you're found inside the park without a chaperone and you're under 18, it says you'll be subject to ejection. So be sure to check that before you buy your ticket. The next mistake you should absolutely avoid is purchasing Fastlane on the wrong days. Knott's Berry Farm does get very crowded sometimes, so Fastlane can be super helpful. However, there are definitely days when you don't need it. For example, if you're going really any weekday, you don't need Fastlane unless it's during the holiday season, like those 2 weeks around Christmas and New Year's. Then possibly you will need Fastlane. However, if you're going any other weekday, I would suggest not getting Fastlane. You'll be able to do all the rides without it. Additionally, most weekends, as long as it's not in the summer months, you should be good without Fastlane as well. Fastlane can be extremely expensive, and buying it and then having no waits all day is going to feel really awful. It's going to feel like a waste of money. So definitely make sure to check if it's going to be a weekday or a non-summer weekend before you buy Fastlane. Alright, we're moving on to mistake number 3. This one's going to sound a little weird, but similar to our Magic Mountain video, buying a ticket can be a big mistake, especially if you're a local. Season passes are not much more than tickets, so if you are a local, you might be looking back at least one other time during the year Knott's Berry Farm. I would strongly suggest buying a season pass. Especially right now, if you buy the Knott's Berry Farm, the rest of your country, as well as other countries, so definitely buy a season pass if you're not a local. Additionally, the passes come with all kinds of great benefits like discounted tickets for friends, as well as discounts on food and merchandise. So definitely be sure to get a season pass if you're a local. Alright guys, so one mistake to avoid before going to the park, and that is going to be forgetting to check the scheduled ride closures. If you are not a local and this is going to be your first time to Knott's Berry Farm, or you're planning a trip out of Knott's Berry Farm, be sure to check the website for scheduled ride closures because it will list all the rides that you will definitely be closed on your daily basis. That's not to say that there might not be more rides closed or anything else that can be definitely closed. Currently, Accelerator and Opportunities Event are both closed for refurbishment, and Knott's Berry Farm has not yet announced when these rides will reopen, so be sure to check back on scheduled ride closures frequently to see when these rides will reopen. If you're planning a trip to Knott's Berry Farm, I think it's really important to see what rides will be open and what rides will be closed on your visit before you go, so don't show up shocked and sorry it's closed this entire day. But that's going to be for all of your tips and tricks and mistakes to avoid before you get to the park. So let's get into the other half of the video. That is going to be mistakes to avoid when you are already there in the ride. The first mistake to avoid when you are going to the park is purchasing the wrong Then the next mistake to avoid is going to be waiting too long for rides to come. Rides like Calico River Rapids get an insane line from around 1 to 5 p.m. However, the entire rest of the day, it will be practically a walk-on. So be sure to ride rides when they don't have as crazy waits. If you see a 3-hour line for Ghost Rider, it's probably not going to get any shorter, so that's the only one that I would say just go for. But every other ride, if it's upwards of an hour and a half, the line shortens out, because it definitely will, especially those water rides like Timber Mountain Log Ride and Calico River Rapids. Later on in the afternoon and evening, those rides will get significantly shorter waits, so definitely try to do those later. However, that's going to do it for all of the mistakes that you need to avoid when visiting Knott's Berry Farm in 2022. Did I miss any tips and tricks that you use every time you visit Knott's Berry Farm? Be sure to comment down below. Also, comment down below if you've been to Knott's Berry Farm and what you think of the park. Thank you so much for watching World of Immersion today, but before you go, be sure to check out this video where we rank every single ride at Knott's Berry Farm in 2022. Thank you so much for watching World of Immersion, and we'll catch you.
everyone, this is MNL2, and today in this video, I want to hopefully assist any of you who plan on visiting Knott's Berry Farm anytime in the next month or so. I have already made a similar video explaining what you can expect to see while at the park, but I wanted to also make a video that explains some tips and tricks that will hopefully help you get the most out of your day and have the best possible experience while at Knott's Berry Farm. Also, I have made a video of 10 tips for visiting Six Flags Magic Mountain in 2021, and the reason that this video is only going to be 5 tips is because a handful of the tips in my Magic Mountain video can easily apply to Knott's Berry Farm as well. In case you haven't seen that video, I'm going to sum up which tips I talked about in that video that can apply to Knott's as well. Arrive as early as possible, bring sealed water bottles, bring only what you need with you inside the park, stick it out when the lines get longer, and time manage towards the end of the day. This video will be talking about some tips that are a bit more specific to Knott's, but all of those tips that I just mentioned are also very essential, especially arriving as early as possible in order to experience the park with absolutely no lines for a few hours. Lastly, if you find yourself enjoying any of my videos or find them interesting, informative, or entertaining in any way, then please feel free to like the video below to help out the channel and help me to keep providing good content for your enjoyment. Thank you. Tip number 1, ride Ghost Rider and Berry Tales early. So as of right now, Knott's Berry Tales Return to the Fair is the newest attraction at Knott's Berry Farm, and so far, it has been very well received and super popular among the park guests. Ghost Rider is also a classic attraction at Knott's Berry Farm that is also super popular as it is praised by enthusiasts as well as the general public, and overall attracts an extremely wide age range of people. So with that being said, these two rides will most likely gain a really long line the fastest when compared to the rest of the rides at Knott's Berry Farm. Assuming you managed to arrive early, I would suggest heading straight to Ghost Rider and then heading back to Berry Tales right after. If you arrive later in the day, pretty much any time after 1 p.m. or so, then this won't really apply anymore, because these rides will already have extremely long lines. So at that point, it would probably be a better idea to go check out Silver Bullet, Hang Time, or Accelerator first, before their lines start getting long as well. Also, the benefit to Knott's being a small park is that you generally never need to rush at Knott's Berry Farm, even on crowded days. So you'll definitely have time for re-rides in case you want to come back to Ghost Rider for a night ride. A secondary tip to add on to this is definitely hop on Hang Time, Accelerator, and Silver Bullet right after Berry Tales, or even before Berry Tales, as none of those rides should have a line at this point in your day, unless the park is incredibly packed, or unless you arrive later. Tip number 2, avoid waiting in long lines for Accelerator. Alright, so Accelerator is also
also a super popular roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm, and to me, it easily has my favorite launch. That being said, coaster enthusiasts will likely be willing to wait an hour or more for this legendary coaster. However, this ride is by far the most unreliable coaster at Knott's Berry Farm. Breakdowns occur rather frequently on this attraction, and if you decide to get in a 1 hour plus line for this ride, it might end up taking significantly longer due to the breakdowns, and you might end up not getting to ride at all if the ride goes down for an extended period of time. Pretty much every other ride at Knott's Berry Farm, including the coasters, thrill rides, dark rides, and family rides, are super reliable for the most part, and you have a better chance of getting on any other ride without it breaking down after waiting in a long line. Tip number 3, use the Knott's app for mobile ordering food. Okay, so I'm gonna be completely honest here. The Knott's app isn't the best, and I find that the Six Flags app is considerably better. However, I do recommend using the mobile app for ordering food to avoid waiting in a long line.
Wow.
Similarly to Six Flags mobile ordering, once you place your order and your meal is prepared, all you have to do is walk up to that food location and pick up your food at the designated mobile pickup window, allowing you to completely avoid physically standing in line for food. Also, it is definitely worth mentioning that there are only a few locations in which mobile ordering food is available at. So if you aren't very picky in terms of where you want to eat, then here are the current mobile ordering options. Again, this app isn't the best, but if you are planning on eating something standard like a burger or pizza, then having this app ready to go before going to the park can save you a lot of time. One more thing about this app that I wanted to mention is that I have found that the wait times on the ride list page are not actually very accurate, so try not to solely rely on this app either when it comes to ride wait times. Tip number 4, save shopping for later in the day. So I mentioned how later in the day crowds will pick up and lines for rides and food will grow pretty large. However, when it comes to general merchandise and gift shops, these won't be super crowded with long lines for checkout at pretty much any point in the day. So
Maybe I'll do one more activity before I complete these. Okay, at least we got 3 last 3 battles for last weapon. The ringer, the roller, lunar blaster, the custom booster, Emperor Dually, for the squeezer, and the washing machine. So let's see what's going on in the series. Splat Zones. Oh yeah, Splat Zones again. Body Resort. Oh, you don't notice recon in here? I'll think about it. Might be coming to a theme park on Friday. But yes. Another family is going to SeaWorld San Diego. Not my family. But I won't be there because the siblings working on Fridays and Saturdays. You know what? Let's continue on with... You know what? Let's continue on with Splat Zones. Like the series. Let's just do a regular one. Let's just do one. And then conclude. Unless if I'm already running out of the stream, running out of battery for the stream, well, maybe one session is better than nothing. Better than no experience at all. Oh, Victor, hey. How long did I didn't respond? Oh, it didn't show up in the YouTube chat, in the live chat itself. Oh, 5:53. Oh no, I just passed it. Sorry. But Welcome. Okay, not able to make it in a single win yet. Yeah. Okay. See if we can use a cheesy weapon. Something else to we bomb. Where's my intensify? Oh, here's some of it. Ah, it still never made it up. Darn. Darn. Not really a good day to hope to get some rank points. Darn. It's been like 2 hours. So not so shabby. Yeah, I'll just have to wait a long period of time to have to go to so many ranked. Have to go to open now. So I think I'm gonna sign off since it's around out time before dinner. So yeah, y'all. If you guys enjoyed this live stream, gameplay live stream, don't forget to hit don't forget to hit either like or dislike. Comment below if you could for suggestions, art trades, or thoughts on this, thoughts on any of my content. And be sure to subscribe to both my main and second YouTube channels. Main channel where I live stream vlogs and gameplays, as well as edited videos and sorts of go animate videos. And second, my second channel where I when I do live streams, work in progress, most YouTube shorts, and copyright-free content, and sometimes memes, face dancing or singing cover memes. That is a new addition. That's a new addition that I didn't announce. Well, anyways, thanks for tuning in, and see y'all. In terms of live streaming, see y'all during the winter break until back to ATP. Yeah, maybe I might be, if I'm staying longer at Knott's Berry Farm, even if it's very, very crowded during the holiday, during the rest of the holiday season post Christmas Day. Yes, I'm going to SeaWorld for the last day in 2023. Well, so yeah. gotta be ending the stream already.